Prime Minister, nothing sinister, believe that. Open mic, it's word solid power. Too. You don't call this a rap. Open mind, Prime Minister, nothing sinister, believe that. Open mic, it's word solid power. Too. You don't call this a rap. Open mind, open mic. You don't call this rap. Too. What up, chef? We don't call this a rap. What up, Black Roots? It's Prime Minister in black.
Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening.
I make the leaning tower tip a little when I spit a little with no dribble. Mind controlling the masses, not on your roof with the fiddle. Devils acting nice, get their horns in a vice. Black past the chisel, cut you down to your bone bristle. Bombing huts with missiles, a stray bullet still whistle from dead men's pistols. If Roots don't got it, get down, let's go check Colonel and Giggles. Fuck the fake chalice bong and backwards my weed sizzle. White perverts make African entertainers show breasts but no nipples. If lies trickle like Chinese torture, your mind stay crippled. In a state of no growth, you mind sickle. For cloning, organ snatchers, got your parts in ice or pickled. Pussies do nothing, watching black girls on the bus get nickeled. Nas got camera, not Cameron, got your pink tickled. Sambo entertainers exiting big whips, don't get your mink riddled. Fags bite the curb and the teeth come in bits like kibbles. Reptilians get caught up when we move nets like kiddles. Sellouts, major in doing nothing for their own Dr. Doolittle. I burn rainbow fake fruit flavor like Loops and Skittles.
Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening.
The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. Prime the holy assaultant, running through devil's rituals. I'm burning rainbow flags and tipping cauldrons. See demons running and tripping, trying to seduce me with spells through vixens. To make me lose third eye vision, put out my ether, try to dull my non-shine. See the X on my chest, shows that the beast is suppressed. Prime time is blessed by Rise energy, giving me guidance. Through my descendants, watch for heights, oaks, try to raid my entrance. Worshipping the golden calf, like golden Jesus heads and platinum crosses with ice. And they thinking they're nice, but judgment is twice. The truth is, you more lost than the ark. It's time to mentally wake up out of those ages that's dark. The revolution we here to kickstart, re-spark the black renaissance. The past and the future have a resemblance. Cause how it was in the beginning, it would be in the end. Elohim created man that slept with the daughters of men from the Caucasus caves. Sexually, the gods didn't use cautious ways. Trick knowledge and kidnapping made them nauseous slaves. Looking for Zion, but they lost their way. Heaven is in the mind of the lioness and lion. Looking for a savior who's God's right-hand man. And all their preachers, the right-hand man. Where will you stand when you get to heaven? That lazy man's world, according to you, God has things to do. And no time to sit behind the golden gate waiting for you to come. Your God deserted his son. Let Samson fall asleep and let the enemy come and cut his source of life short. If you're hating, you're not relating. The truth is, I'm a rebel. And through your lies, I see your God as the devil. Put the tree of temptation in the garden, but said don't touch it. Religion got Muslims dressed in winter like they're heading to the Mecca summit. Yo, y'all not freezing? The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, they got your minds in nooses. Telling me I'm 3/5 of a human being, you must be stupid. Love got nothing to do with Cupid. Why now do they want truces? We want the stolen legacy back. I say what they don't want me to. Thanks to my ancestors' spirits, when I get close to the knowledge, I feel it. Cause if I show it, we might blow it. Cause Mr. Oreo Negro would made us up to get with those people who try to stop the life clock, but never knew about the most I chosen few. They took the red, white, and blue and perverted it for sex in the church. The human faith, they skirted it with the veil and hailed the high priest from Egypt. I hate blacks that act like they don't see shit. Attitudes of ignorance, millennium maroons, the first victims of the guns and booze. From the first time they came in raping, they took our gold. Now they want to take your mind and soul. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, I see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, I see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. They made Africa the auction block through crusades. They say they're bringing knowledge, all I see them bringing is porridge. Farrakhan got his million man marching on the same block. They had us as slaves for auctions. So I saw them sweat those others' actions. They just become distractions to my aura. I speak and never boy, I quick to floor ya. If you on vibes with Satan's spies, I'm not trying to step on toes, I'm stepping on ties and blows make heads crack. Devils screaming my neck, my back, waving their white flag, but we show none. Rappers turning actors, or they leading sermons. I flow and give your brain a purging if you're not learning. The knowledge is power. I drop an hour of knowledge in 3 minutes. For me, that's a scrimmage. I'm too high to see limits. Staring at raw, replace my carrots. I don't smile, watch face, or beg friends from faggots, cause opposites attract, lights repel. Sitting waiting for emancipation, Israelites rebel. Cause if you don't have the mark, you can't buy or sell. Don't let them fool you, it's dark and cold in hell. Here comes the scarred disciple, verbal rifle. My flow sawed off, on your saliva, you're stifled. Choked up, cause I spoke up, I've been woke up from the sleep in this matrix. You're searching for Zion while your heaven gates shapeshift. Devils, elves got the God's irons off the shelves. With blacks only bucking at blacks, you know you bucking yourselves. When would it stop? Put down the gun, leave the Babylonian ways. Killing your brothers, acting like Cain. Doing things not backed by scriptures. Falling on your face to pray and celebrating Christmas. Wearing all types of robes and symbols. Kissing black stone, worshiping the Wailing Wall like imbeciles. Facing east to pray while the sauce is all around us. It tells you not to eat pork in the 7th verse of Leviticus. Christ is Christus. To your mind I see they so vicious. Blacks, to your mind I see they so vicious. The truth is, if you
wake up. Wake up. What's good, Moors? You already know how it goes in the quarantine. You better get something in you. And don't be eating out all the rations and complaining that there's nothing to eat. You better get your real food. You better get your real food. Playing around. You really think these people are taking your mail right now? You're crazy. You better know right now. It's all about knowing. Because our people lack knowledge of who we really are. And only people who want to know about themselves will care. And we don't care about people who don't want to know. This isn't for them. This is for those who check the climate and they want to make sure they have on their right wear for the climate. Nature knows no color line. J.A. Rogers. We have to know who we are. We've been told, but we like to play games like we don't know who we are. All right. These Africans were Moors. Did they specify which African? Where? Africa, right? Africa. Right? Africa. There's all these different places that people are talking about. That's what Africa is. People who study know that Africans were Moors. That's what it is. Don't get mad because Kemet's not in here and whoever else is not in here. Don't get mad. Right? What do Moors tell you? What do Moors tell you? Quote unquote black when we talk about black, right? When Moors talk about black, they always quote unquote. Right? Right? 52, he's quote unquote in black, and you're looking at Moors like we're crazy? We don't know what we're talking about? 52, he was quote unquote in black. Why? Because it's a fraud. Can't be an identity of somebody. Anybody say that they're black, they're incompetent. Automatically, off the top. No questions asked, none. We're not even going further. Play to yourself because you listen to these fake leaders telling you about your everything except Moors. When everybody knows you're Moors in every language. Moros. You know who you are. You know what I mean? You don't have to hear what we're saying. We already know we're Moors. We're doing you a favor. Keep playing around. Keep playing around. Right? These Africans were Moors, sometimes called Arabs because of their language. So Arab, so when somebody says, Moors say Islam, furthermore, that came from the Arabs. That came from a language? What we're following came from a language. Really? Stop the BS. Everybody knows that we're Moors. It's only our people that don't know. Playing dumb. Because, again, listening to your black leaders. Who are your black leaders? They know that they're Moors. You think they don't know? How come none of you people ever put up your hand at Savior's Day and ask Farrakhan if he has a nationality? See what he tells you. Ask that specific question at Savior's Day. Just put your hand up. Hey, you have a nationality? And then the next time you see Riza Islam go live, when Riza Islam goes live next, go in his chat and ask him, hey, I was reading your case with you and your mom with this Medicare fraud BS that they tried to pull on you because the white man and all that stuff. But when you went to your hearing to be let out of jail on some Medicare charges and all that stuff, you were talking like how the Moors talk when they go to court. Are you a Moor? See what he tells you. All your leaders know. They don't want you to know. Now, one of the Moors brought it up in one of our classes that all this stuff going on is really to stop you from being Moors. Think about that. Think about everything that they've done to try to stop the liberation of the black man and all that stuff. There was no liberating, no marching, no nothing right now. All picketing and all that stuff that Moors told you that is BS. They're letting you know now, yeah, that was BS. So now what? Well, now you have to switch now to the health or the energy because the physical ain't working. Physical standstill right now. Oh, but you're supposed to been on. Delbert Blair been telling you about some crystals and all that stuff. You don't got your stuff yet? Tell me that you're going to save somebody out here? Because you could go live? Yeah, right. You just got on this. You've been out here telling these people all the same stuff that's going on right now. Matter of fact, went to supermarket the other day, because out here you can do essential, go outside. So if it's essential, you can go outside. You know what I mean? Because they already know this is the pineal gland. They need to, you know what I mean, look out up here. So it's not too crazy. You know. And saw a brother in there. I haven't seen in a little while. Yo, what's up? You know what I mean? Doing our little social distancing or whatever, because everybody's looking at us like, oh my God, the black guys, what are they going to do? Are they going to, you know what I mean? But, you know, no big deal. Bump. What's good, boy? What you said? What's good? Yo, I was just thinking about you yesterday. Because I was thinking about all this stuff that's going on right now. When you were with Henchman Addy, you were talking about all this stuff in your music. You were talking about lockdown and all that. In the 90s. Do these things really happen? I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I guess I'm seeing it right now. Like, exactly. Africans were Moors. And he quote unquoted black. Right? Calls the people of Morocco black. Why is he quote unquote black? Because black's a fiction. You can't be that. Especially in these times when the foundation of acts being used, bills being passed, and all that stuff is the slave codes to govern the niggers. Everybody's a nigger now. And Drawley already told us, you know, some of you good Moors, your coattail's gonna get burnt too. Just because. That's just what, you know, collateral damage. That's just what it is. Even the good Moors are getting it right now. Because of these dirty Moors. And we're suffering too. Right? Because trust me, springtime we want to be in nature and on all that stuff. We're not cave dwellers. I think it's so easy to have them in the house and all the, you know, you got the mindset of the cave people. And then on top of that, you don't know how to go within, so you're lost. That's why I quote unquote black. About the 2nd century BC began invasions of white people into Morocco. The Romans, who called it Mauritania, came in, and it is to be presumed that their soldiers mixed with Moorish women. Not African women, not Arabian women, none of that. Moorish women. Why? Oh, because the women, oh yeah, they're Moors too. Moors. Mixture of white and black. Lighter colored people. Now, as always, when you study, then you start realizing, oh, footnotes and all that type of stuff, and you start paying attention to those too, because those are going to school you. You're sitting here playing around that we're Negro when that's a type, that's a phenotype. That's not an identity of a people. But when we say Moors over there, you're going to debate and want to argue with us. The Moorish and Berber invasion. Moorish and Berber? You think Berber are some Europeans? Then if Berbers are Moors, and that in itself is a language, it's going back right again to these people are Moorish. And we get it. Your own sold you out and called you all these fictions, and now you're trapped having to deal with it. You get it. You get it. But this is, like they say, the purge. The purge is when you get the shit out. So the purges. Purge is the cleansing. It's cleansing time. Because when we come out on the other side of this, you're either going to be sane or the zombie apocalypse. You're going to be it. Like Joali talk about worms falling out of you and you want to die and can't even die. Because you followed the sellouts, not knowing that the sellouts knew about nationality, they knew about we're Moors, they knew about America being Morocco, they knew all that. And just because of honors, because we know what they did, we're gonna keep putting it out there that's what all the stuff that the black people are talking that they want, their own this and that and their whatever, that Dr. Malachi York did that because he was an L. And he was Moorish American. And he saved the Nuwaubian nation. And the Nuwaubian nation sold him out. They don't even call themselves Nuwaubian anymore. They're talking about Tamaray or whatever. And now the people are suffering. Worse than ever. When they had all these opportunities to free themselves. How? By knowing the truth about who they are. It's not about anything else. Because we already know grandma ate pork till she was 90. And she knew go out there to go pick whatever. If you have a cold or if you get a cut or if whatever. The show that's supposed to be about who? Because you have to always remember that when people complain about New World Order and all that stuff, right? And they complain about Agenda 21 and they complain about, when they complain about all these enemies that they have stopping them from their progress as the how much ever million and we're the founders and all this type of stuff. All those Illuminati people are Masons, which means they wear fezzes, which means they know everything that we know. But you're not debating them about why they're saying that they're Moors in secret. How come you're not debating them for saying that they're Moors in secret? And then, going back to Dr. York, again showing you the propaganda, because he exposed all their Mason stuff that was supposed to be a secret. Because he's not black guy. He's L. He's a Moor. So all that Masonic stuff is his stuff. And he had the pin down tassel, apron, all that. He wasn't Prince Hall who got permission from them. Why do you think Fat Al and Messy Jesse and all them people used to go to the land? What do you think? You think they didn't know what was up? They were doing that for Poppy Show. They were doing that for show and tell. And then Doc, messing with all these sellouts, is how they got that deep in with him. It makes sense once you have a Moorish mindset about everything. Everything makes sense. Like the Moor said yesterday that called into our live from the Netherlands. Fez is up. Like, we're Moors. What you mean? Of course we're Moors. Fez is up. Right? They all know that we're Moors, which is the point. Why don't you know? We're not mad of people's fame that they got because they're doing black stuff or whatever like that. I don't care. That's their birthright for them to do that with. That has nothing to do with me. That's their birthright. If they want to play around and all that stuff, then they're going to do whatever they're going to do. We're letting you know that the history of our people is absolutely everywhere that we ran stuff. It's not a guess that we ran civilizations. We know this. We're telling you, you didn't do that as any Negroes and blacks and Africans. You didn't do that as any Arabs and all that. What they fear is us knowing the truth about our Moorish nationality and our birthrights. Because all is mental. That's what they're attacking. They're not putting soldiers in the street because of a physical thing they're trying to impose. That's a psychological thing that they're doing. Because all is mental. There was no others. Every other name that we ran stuff under fell. The Moorish Empire hasn't fallen yet because there's still people who call themselves Moors. That people are going to go to Alhambra today still. You're not going to compare some dusty pyramids in Kemet that people can't even go inside or nothing like that and tell me that's more important than Alhambra, that people could go inside of it. And Moors did that. You turn on your tap right now and there's water. That's because of Moors. What are you talking about? There's nobody else. Because of Moors, why there's irrigation and all that. How? How is it because of the Moors? Because when Kemet fell, which was our last prosperous empire before the Moors became the custodians of the ancient Kemetic culture. So people who are saying Kemet shouldn't be saying that. They should be saying Moor. Because Kemet fell. Everybody knows that. That's not some What are you arguing? Kemet fell. It's a fact that Kemet fell. Since Kemet fell, and the Moors are the custodians of the ancient Kemetic culture, that means everything Kemet is now Moorish. Real basic. It's not some advanced stuff. So if everything's Moorish, why are we talking about ancient Kemet and ancient Egypt and ancient Sumerian and all this stuff? What are we talking about that for? That has nothing to do with anything. We know Kemet was the last great empire that we had before these Europeans started going nuts. We know that. Nobody's going to argue with that. There was no empire greater than that. You see the monuments, even though they're dusty, you see the monuments that they left. Yeah, that was some colossal work or whatever. But all that fell. It fell, and the people who are known as Moors became the custodians of that culture, and they inherited the empire. And up to right now, there's a Moroccan empire because these people still take an oath to the Constitution, which is represented by a Great Seal and a United States seal. And the people who speak under the eagle never speak under the pyramid. Because they can't. Because they're not the pyramid. You are. But you want to be Republican, Democrat, and PC and liberal, and you want to be, when you're Moors. But again, the sellout is deep, so this is only for those who want it. Right? Now, if all these family crests have you on them. All these family crests. These are supposed to be different families, but you, with a headband on and earrings or a crown, is represented. And then these heads are known throughout the world as blackamoor heads. They're not called African heads. They're not called Sumerian heads. They're not called Hebrew Israelite heads or Kemetic heads. They're not called Pharaoh heads. They're not called any of that. They're called Moors heads. And all of them are for different names. But it's one family. If we change all these names right here and we say Trinidadian, Jamaican, St. Lucian, Dominican, Guyanese, Brazilian, and we go through the list, you tell me all these people are different? What makes them different? Oh, they're family customs. Other than that, they're the same people. Because all of these, no matter what the name, all of these are known as blackamoor. All these. Stuff that you see looking like this, or sometimes they might just take the head only. Right? They just take the head only. Right? They just take the head only. That's a diss to the Moors for when they beheaded the Moors. Why they use the head only. But it also shows who, even if they could have cut their arm off and used arms. And all these, instead of heads, is arms on it. It's still going to be your arm. It's going to be a Blackamoor arm. It's not going to be African arm, Sumerian arm, or none of that. Now, Jose Pimenta Bay, who's an author, dropped this one on us. That when you look at, you always look at who do books by. When it was copywritten and where it was printed. So what Jose Pimenta Bay was saying is that books that are printed in the United States say Negro. Books printed in the United States would say Indian, would say whatever, black, and all these different identifications. But then when you go to the first copyright and you find out that, oh, this book wasn't actually originally printed here, it was printed somewhere else, you find out that wherever else that it was printed, in the book it's saying Moors and Israelites are the people. The people who are the children of God and whatever like that are the Moors and the Israelites. So when you check the printing and you see that it says Negro, anytime you see that it says Negro, you know that they're talking about dark-skinned people. They're talking about us. But that's only on this side of the world. On the other side of the world, they're talking about Moors in there. That's like the Moor who was near Hawaii. The Moor that we know near Hawaii, who saw a car with a license plate Moor. Like, what the hell is this? I'm going to keep my eye out, see if I see him again or whatever. However long later, ends up seeing dude again, right? Gets out the car, and he's not even from this side. He's from over there in quote-unquote Africa. And he's telling the brother that, yeah, I know Africans are Moors. I'm a Moor. That's why I have it on my license plate. But I didn't know that there were Moors over here. Like, I thought Moors over here were only from over there. Like, nah, there's Moors over here too. Telling him about the Moroccan flag and all that, and everything's making sense to him because where he's from, everything's Moorish. On the continent. This is maybe 3 months ago. Think about that. An African from over there came over here and he didn't put Africa or the place where he lives or his tribe or whatever on the license plate. He put Moor. Think about that. He's not from over here. Think about all the stories that we heard about who we are as a people or whatever. And we pull one guy. Okay, let's ask that guy. He's telling you, yeah, I'm from over there. I moved over here, but I'm a Moor. Because over there, I'm a Moor. Not any African. Not anything like that. Moor. Telling you. And then you, sister, remember that you're a mother. Don't let your sons get away with this stuff about your sister and all that stuff. Your mother, no matter how old you are. And you're the foundation of all this. Your position is paramount. That's why you're attacked the most. That's why you just have to cut off the thing for these not ready sons out here. Because you're Queen Bee. And our duty is to put in the work. Once you're dealing with stuff righteous and stuff like that, you can't be a nutcase talking about you want stuff your way. It doesn't go like that. But no, you are the foundation of this. You're why everybody's here, including this European who we're calling our enemy or whatever. You're the supreme being. Don't let they call you God and then you're calling them Earth, and then they treat Earth like trash, throwing their garbage everywhere or whatever like that, and think that's not falling on you. You're God, and your Earth, and your universe, and your mind, and you're everything that we're meant to be inspired by. But you have to recognize your position. That's the matriarch that rules. Which is why, again, we always got to bring up Noble Drew Ali and him letting us know in the 1920s what it's about if we're going to be saved. Now, he's standing on the rock of salvation. Right? So on the rock of salvation. And then he's standing with the right foot, because the left foot is to trample down evil as we move forward. And we're not trampling time right now. Salvation time. Right foot coming out of the cares of the world. The Noble Drew Ali's holding mother. And mother's unconscious. Now, honors to the mothers who have been awakened to their true higher divine self. Honors to all mothers. But there's still mothers who are asleep. Humanity is written on mother. So when we say, as Moors, uplifting fallen humanity, this is fallen humanity. And he's uplifting her. He's being the model of the Moorish movement in this picture. He's being the model, uplifting an unconscious humanity that has fallen. Now, she's not dead. She's just fallen. This has to be given some time to come back to her senses. There's time to come back to your senses. Make sure you look up Mama Zogbe. MamaZogbe. Go watch her stuff on YouTube if you're a mother. But don't get caught up in you're some powerful and all that stuff if your head's not straight. Because the magic's not going to work for you. It's going to work against you. And then you're going to get old fast because of your scorn that you put on yourself. Because you got caught up. Don't get caught up. Give honors to your son for lifting you up while you were down, not just leaving you there. So honor your sons. Appreciate and respect your sons. For, some of them do suffer out here for you. Some of them do grip down to the nail for you. They go all out for mother. So give honors to them. These dudes that's been playing games, patriarchal games, you know who they are already. Because you have 6, 7, 8, 9 sense and all that. And you see stuff. You already know this. Recognize your position. But don't take advantage of your powers. The divine force working through your sons to assist you in your fallen state, give them honors. But stop taking BS from the BS. Because when we ruled, again, you pull some BS, you might lose your head. So don't get caught up. Right. Bows, arrows, blackamoors. Right? Look at right there. Moor. If a Moor has a bow and arrow, okay, who has bow and arrows? Who uses bow and arrows? Who uses bow and arrows? Who? Who uses bow and arrows? So the people who use bow and arrows are called Moor. Why are they telling you about some tribal thing and that's who you are and you're from this tribe and that tribe? Playing games with you. Because yeah, the Indians are Moors too. No such thing as Indian. Oh. Perfect. Indian is Los Indios. Los Indios. Honors to Ricardo Ignacio for this one. So it's a good one. Los Indios. Very good Aboriginal indigenous read. So I guess everything was clear. So we'll see you when we see you. Islam to all Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors. Honors to all the mothers. Don't forget, man is mind. And all is mental. Man is mind and all is mental. Islam Moors.